Welcome back, everyone. We are here today, brand new Cabral HouseCall. This is our first show of the weekend on the Cabral concept. The Cabral HouseCalls are where I answer our community's questions each and every weekend. And again, the show is a 7-day-a-week show. But on the weekends, I like to be able to stop, take the time, and go through about a dozen questions on Saturday and Sunday combined. So as I always say, I don't do any prep work for the show. It's basically as if a listener called in, asked their question, and then it's my job to give them that second opinion they might be looking for. So it's another way to look at a dis-ease of the body from a more natural and healthy perspective as to actually what the underlying root cause may be, and then of course how to begin to rebalance the body from that root causal level where then dis-ease cannot live. What I have to say is there are no medical recommendations, medical diagnosis, medical cures, or medical treatment plans provided on the podcast. I am here to share with you 20 plus years of working in actual practice with real people and helping them to get well. All right, so having said that, let's open up today's document, and it looks like today is episode 2528. If you want to follow along, just head on over to stephencabral.com/2528. If you haven't already picked up a copy of the Rain Barrel Effect, definitely pick up a copy. They are free. I pay to have them printed. You just pay for the shipping and handling. All right, let's get started. First question today is from Marie. Marie says, "Hi, Dr. Paul. Just wanted to start by saying thank you for offering the lab services and coaching. Brief history, I was chronically undereating unknowingly and hitting the gym 5 to 6 days a week. Exhaustion set in late 2019, but I attributed it to work stress. When New York City went in lockdown in 2020, I thought, great, a 2-week vacation. But as the weeks piled on, so did the pounds. When losing the weight by cutting calories and increasing workouts didn't work, I joined a nutrition coaching service which focuses on fueling your body and not starving it. After a year and a half, I was still struggling to lose, and they recommended blood work. I had the full thyroid panel in the middle of 18 months, and the numbers were fine. So I ran the Equilife hormone test and found out I have low progesterone." Okay. Well, happy to help with this. I don't know if there's more to that question, but it left off with that. And so I just want to share with you, we see this all the time in my practice. And so I want to be able to help on hopefully like many different levels, always a free place to get started. So the free place to get started is at stephencabral.com/podcast. Scroll along the top and look for the hormones podcast. They're all in one category. That will be helpful. What you want to do, though, is narrow in on something that's called estrogen dominance caused by higher levels of cortisol or stress. So just to kind of give you a 1-minute preview of what you'll find out more about is when stress levels go up, especially in women, so cortisol levels rise, they can sometimes feel like Superwoman, doing a million things, not needing any sleep, go, go, go. And then all of a sudden they start to get brain fog in the morning or a little overwhelmed or irritable or lower mood or lower libido and just all the lows. And then they still can't sleep at night. And so what happens is cortisol levels rise and then your body starts to get a little burnt out. They stay elevated the second half of the day, but not the first half of the day. So you don't have energy in the morning unless you do caffeine or something to spike that cortisol. But what happens is estrogen levels typically stay fairly normal, but progesterone levels drop. And I have so many different shows on why this leads to fertility, et cetera. But the goal is actually to rebalance cortisol levels and stress and thereby promote the production of progesterone, getting you back into a normal cycle. I mean, we see this thousands upon thousands of times per year. And the good news is this is very, very fixable. And so don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. So you've got the podcast to start with. If you've run the stress, mood, and metabolism, you would get a one-on-one plan for my team. That's at stephencabral.com/labs. And there's also a whole course on this at stephencabral.com/courses. There's one on thyroid. There's one on female hormones. There's one on digestive system. And then there's a free one on the detox. And then there's one on weight loss that comes with Fatlocity, all right? So hopefully that gets you started, Marie, and no doubt about it, you'll be back to better than new in no time. All right, Jackie's up next. My question is this: is the CBO protocol good to disrupt established and tough biofilms? Or is this protocol better for someone who would be using this protocol as a first round against SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth? Has it ever been used with success on SIBO patients who have tough biofilms to break down? Finally, is there a reason why EDTA is not included in the biofilm buster formula? All right, that's a lot of biofilms, and I totally get what you are saying, Jackie. Okay, so there's a few things that I can honestly say to you that we are innovators in the field of digestive rebalancing and hormone rebalancing, naturally, for sure. Meaning, like, I don't know that there's any other protocol in the world like the CBO protocol, and I don't know if there's any other digestive protocol in the world used by more practitioners, and that's because it works. Now, you're naming medical treatment SIBO, right? I can't say that. We use it for people with candida issues and bacterial issues, okay? And there is EDTA in the formula. Keep in mind, it's 3 months. This is this is to the scientific T. This has been reformulated over the years to get better and better and better. Until the science gets any better, this is as good as you can get for a digestive system. And yes, it works. So for digestive rebalancing, it does have EDTA, but it's in month 2 with the Florafilm. So Florafilm, you might hear in there flora, that's the gut, and film is the biofilm, right? So that's where EDTA is. It's actually all written out, so it's not written as the EDTA. It's actually all the way spelled out. So no, it's in there, and yes, it's phenomenal for biofilms and people with digestive issues. So hopefully that's helpful, and you can find that at stephencabral.com/CBO. You can actually look through all the different, we show you all the ingredients, and it's all right there. And you can just check out Florafilm, which is a month 2 product. Because remember, this works from gentle, stronger to strongest so that there's no real die-off reactions. And again, that's just from clinical practice, so we can see how people are doing with it. Okay, Anonymous is up next. Hi, I'm so grateful to you and your team for all the information you share. You are truly changing so many people's lives for the better. Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate that. I had a question about L-Glutamine. I have MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome, and I have been taking L-Glutamine to seal my gut and thus calm down my immune system. However, it has been giving me anxiety, depression, and fatigue. Is this a glutamate issue? What can you do to prevent the side effects? Also, I was wondering how long it took for you to resolve your food sensitivities and be able to have lectins again. All right, all good questions. So it took me probably 18 months to 2 years to fully desensitize my body. So I healed my gut in about 3 to 6 months. And then I very slowly worked in other foods because I was feeling so good I didn't want to mess with too much. And then after that, I could eat basically any foods that I wanted, but I realized that when I ate too many nightshades, too many days in a row, that started to build up. So I don't get too crazy with potatoes, especially with skins or tomatoes, and I'm not even a fan of a lot of other nightshades, to be honest. Like I'll be okay if I go the rest of my life without eating bell peppers or eggplant, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's that. And now I can eat those no problem. Like I love going out to dinner and having like some heirloom tomatoes with fresh olive oil. Okay, so that's that. And then let's talk about the glutamine though, because that's really what you're asking about. All right, so yes, L-Glutamine, fantastic for the gut. We have a product called Healthy Gut Support. That's, to my knowledge, the best for the gut. It contains L-Glutamine N-glucosyl. I'm gonna have to look that up. Why is that not on the tip of my tongue right now? It's the CBO Healthy Gut Support and the CBO Finisher. N-acetylglucosamine. I knew I would get it. Apologize. That took me just a second there, thinking things out in real time. Then it has marshmallow root. It's just some great products in there, aloe vera, etc. Okay, so here's the issue. When you take L-glutamine in or alpha-ketoglutarate, both of those can then get transformed into glutamate, which then has to be moved over to GABA or excreted from the body. And when you don't have enough of the cofactors, such as vitamin B6, paradoxal 5-phosphate, or magnesium or manganese, then your body does, and oftentimes you can feel more anxiety, depression, OCD, etc. So what I would recommend is doing less of the L-glutamine. And then I would absolutely, if you're not already using it, using the daily nutritional support. You can mix your L-glutamine with that if you'd like. And you might want to add an extra activated B complex. And then at night, you can use the full spectrum magnesium for a little extra magnesium. Hopefully that was helpful. All right, Richard's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. I know you recommend 7 to 9 cups of fruits and veggies per day, with more coming from veggies. I get around 6 cups of fruit and 3 to 4 cups of veggies on a good day, sometimes even less. The problem is that I'm a Vata dosha, and veggies aren't conducive for gaining or maintaining weight. Veggies are filling, but very low calorie food. If I eat 5 to 6 cups of veggies per day, then I don't have the appetite to eat other high calorie foods that will help me increase the weight. It gets even hard when I'm trying to build muscle. Is it possible that Vatas need less veggies than other doshas, or is it just wishful thinking? If not, then do you have any suggestions for gaining, maintaining weight while getting my 5 to 6 cups of veggies? Thank you. Really appreciate all you do. Okay. Yeah, happy to help with this. It's actually an easy answer. Vatas should still get 2 to 3 cups of cruciferous vegetables every day. The broccoli, the bok choy, what else is a great one? Cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, all those things, like whatever works for you. But they can get a lot of their veggies from colorful root vegetables. We often overlook those as well. And those are the starches that Vatas and ectomorphs do great with. Excuse me. All right, so those are the starches that Vatas do great with. Parsnips, taro, yucca, purple sweet potatoes, Japanese yams. All of those are really great for Vatas. So 100%, that's what I would do. And just make sure you're weight training 3 days a week, so that will increase your appetite as well. All right, so your root vegetables do count as vegetables. They absolutely do. You just want to get the brightly colored root veggies as well. All right. And that will help with the weight gain. So Anonymous is up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. My question is regarding the case of painless ulcerative colitis. When I was first diagnosed with this disease, I was experiencing all of the standard symptoms: urgency, bloody stool, fatigue, etc. My initial flare was brought under control and has remained dormant since. Recently, however, I completed a few of your labs, including the gut bacteria and parasite test. It revealed very high inflammatory markers. I found this troubling since I wasn't showing any symptoms. Fast forward a few months, I completed the CBO protocol and went in for a colonoscopy. My doctor said that I had severe inflammation and needed to go on a biologic. I'm distraught as I still am symptom-free. My question, how will I know if I'm truly well if I can have severe inflammation and no symptoms? What now? Yeah, this is a great question, Anonymous. So it comes back to this. Keep in mind, again, I wrote the book, The Rain Barrel Effect. You can begin to fill up that rain barrel and have inflammation. Like I had inflammation all throughout my childhood, and I didn't overflow the rain barrel until 17. But I had outdoor allergies. I had, all sorts of different symptoms. And then at 17, obviously everything came overflowing. For you, it would be a flare-up, right? That's the overflow of the rain barrel, but you can still have inflammation. So what you want to look at is what's causing inflammation for you. Have you looked into doing, adding some turmeric into your daily nutritional support? I like to add it to my vanilla one when I do that. Have you looked into ginger, like ginger teas or even some ginger powder in there? Have you looked into the CBO finisher, which are probiotics and the product I was just talking about, the healthy gut support? Have you looked into other things that might be causing inflammation? Heavy metals, overall stress. So the inflammation is in your gut. But again, if you're watching some video, I'm holding up my buddy Walter, there's 26 feet of digestive tract. And so what I would say to you is, what is this cause of the inflammatory bout? And then again, the way that you know it's there is that's why I recommend the lab testing, and so that you can say, okay, no, it is gone now, even though I'm not having symptoms, or it is still there, even though I'm not having symptoms. So also, if you're not looking at omega-3s, I would certainly look at omega-3s and magnesium. All these things are absolutely fantastic. If you could check out a product called Inflamasoothe. And again, I'm not giving you any medical treatment plans, but those would be fantastic things to take a look at. All right. Thanks for writing in. Pamela is up next. Pamela says, I've been suffering from Raynaud's for years and I'm done. Can you tell me what best to do, supplements, etc.? Okay. Yeah, I've answered lots of questions on Raynaud's. Basically, think about this. Your heart pushes blood out from its center, and by the time it makes it to the fingers or even the toes, it is very small little capillaries, and those capillaries can get cut off under inflammation and or stress. And so with Raynaud's, you can often get purple fingers, poor circulation to the extremities, typically the fingers, but sometimes the toes as well. And so we need to then look at the underlying root cause. What's causing the inflammation? Because inflammation isn't of in itself a root cause by itself. So we want to look at, with Raynaud's, heavy metals, higher levels of cortisol and norepinephrine, meaning stress. We want to look at food sensitivities. We want to look at not enough sleep, deep sleep and REM sleep. So, in a nutshell, if you can run the big five, you run the big five. If you can't run the big five, then at least run if you can, run the starter kit plus the stress, mood, and metabolism, if you can't do the big five. And then you'll get a one-on-one plan built for you. And so I could say, okay, take the whole sleep protocol, the adrenal soothe, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner, full spectrum magnesium, 1 at lunch, 2 at dinner, and then any of the sleep help support you need. But honestly, I want to get to the root cause with you. I don't want to just give you the nutritional supplements, okay? And then, yes, I would run a functional medicine detox, do a 21-day if you can to start. But the best thing you can, if you're able to, is to run the labs, because then you get a plan that's built for you, just for you. And so you can run that with us at stevencabral.com/labs, or you can run that with an integrative health practitioner level 2. And you can find our IHPs all over the world at integrativehealthpractitioner.org. All right, that is it for today's show, but I will be back tomorrow answering more of your questions. Thanks so much for your support. I appreciate you. Of course, if this was helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it could serve.